Okay, we're going to review how to graph a quadratic in factored form. This is from our 3.4 homework, number 4. So the first thing we're going to do is factor this because it's in standard form and we want it in factored form. So I'm going to start by factoring out the GCF. I have 3x squared, 18x, and 24. They can all be divided by 3, so I'm going to factor out that 3. Then I'm going to get x squared, then 18 divided by 3 is 6x, and then 24 divided by 3 is 6. So now I'm going to factor from there. I'm going to use my box. I have x squared, 6x, and then plus 8. Okay. So it'll be x times x, and then 8 is 4 and 2. That'll give me 4x, and that'll give me 2x. And if I add them, I do get the 6 in the middle, so this is x plus 4 and x plus 2. So the equation in factored form now is going to be f of x equals the 3 that I factored out to begin with times the x plus 4 and x plus 2. Now remember, you can write those in any order, it doesn't matter. Okay. Then we have to go and do this in order. The first thing we should be doing is the x-intercepts. Okay, remember x-intercepts is where f of x equals 0. So you're going to plug in 0 for f of x and then solve. So I have 0 equals 3 times x plus 4 times x plus 2. So we set all 3 of these factors equal to 0 to solve it. Since 3 will never equal 0, that just goes away. Here we're going to subtract the 4 and get x equals negative 4. So one of my x-intercepts is negative 4 for x, and then 0 for y. The next one we're going to subtract the 2 from both sides, and we'll get x equals negative 2. So our x-intercept is negative 2 for x and 0 for y. So those are our 2 x-intercepts. And we have to graph those now. So I'm going to go where x is negative 4 and y is 0. I'm going to go where x is negative 2 and y is 0, which is right here. From there, our next step is to identify the a value. So here a is going to equal the number in front, which is our 3. That means my parabola is facing up, and my vertex is a minimum, because the vertex is this lowest point on my graph. Okay. Step 3 is going to be the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is the middle of the x-intercepts. So here, the middle is -3. So it's going to be x equals -3. That'll also be the x value of my vertex. Okay, the next thing we need to do is find that vertex. So that's my fourth step. To find that vertex, I need to work backwards. I have my pattern rate of change, which is a over 1, then 3a over 1, then 5a over 1. If I was to have the vertex, I would use the a value, which is 3. So I'd go up 3 and over 1 from my vertex. But seeing as though I don't have, that I'm working backwards, I need to go in reverse. So I am 1 away from the axis of symmetry, so I just have to use that first step. Okay. So it's actually, I'm going to move backwards, which would be down 3, and then right and left 1 for it. So from the x-intercepts, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1. Then down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And then that will be my vertex of -3, -3. And so I can graph the parabola. Okay. The y-intercept I can't see on the graph, and it's actually going to go quite a bit off. So I have to plug in. So that's my next one, is the fifth step. And I have to plug in x equals 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x into my equation. So seeing as though I don't, I can plug it into either one. I can plug it into factored form, or I can plug it into the original equation. Doesn't matter. I think I like to plug it into the factored form. It might be easier for me. So I'm going to plug in, so it's going to be f of 0 equals 3 times 0 plus 4 times 0 plus 2. So that's going to be 3 times 4 times 2. 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24. So it's going to be when x is 0, y is 24. Then to describe my transformations, since the a value is 3, that's going to be a stretch. If a is greater than 1, the absolute value of a is greater than 1, then it's a stretch. Then my vertex will tell me which direction to move for everything else. So the x value is -3, so I'm moving to the left 3. And then the y value is -3, so it tells me to move down 3. Okay, so that's how we can graph a quadratic in factored form. I hope this helps.